Hello and welcome again to another Through the Table on Full Time Sport Network, talking NFL. Uh, Talking tonight NFC East, Eagles. How good can they be? And Cowboys and Dak Prescott. How is this a very crucial year for them? We'll talk about that and the rest of the NFC East. Yes, hello, welcome. You know what time it is? Another Wednesday, another edition of Through the Table here, Full Time Sport Network. Um, Today we are here going to be discussing the NFC East. Um, it's a division that the teams are good, especially when we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys and the uh, Philadelphia Eagles mostly. The Cowboys are a good team, but one that just hasn't been good enough. And we're coming up on McCarthy's fourth year. Dak Prescott has been the quarterback now uh, for quite a while. Like, I think they have to make a deep playoff run to um, to really justify anything. And to discuss that, bring in my buddy, my friend, Donnie.
What's
Donnie
up, Brett?
Shoemaker. How are you, my friend?
Good. How about yourself, dude?
Oh, not too bad. You have a good couple weeks, man?
I did. I did.
Excellent.
Hanging out with the family. Uh,
Yeah.
so summer vacation. Well, the week I did have it, and we celebrated an awesome day yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yesterday was
I didn't know if it was taboo
uh,
to bring that up or not on this channel, but
no, of course not. Of course not.
um,
Yeah. No, yeah.
gotta pop some fireworks off with my nephews. So
Oh, dude. Yeah. Where we live, we can't really do like fireworks, so we just had
sprinklers.
sparklers,
Okay. I was like,
sparklers. And those little poppet things, which
do you get the adult version or the white ones?
no, they're the ones for kids. No, I
Okay.
mean not for kids. I didn't say that, but they're the little itty bitty ones.
What, you give fireworks to children, Brett?
No, no,
I'm just playing, dude. I know
no,
you're not.
but
I know you're not. Plus, when we were Ryan's age, we were playing with poppers. It's all right. It's not the end of the
it,
world. It's really
yeah.
not. So
So, let me first ask you, because I let in there with the Cowboys. This is going to be Mike McCarthy's fourth year in Dallas. They've had really good regular season, but like nobody feel like you don't feel like they're a Super Bowl contender.
yeah, I don't. I think it's chemistry. Like I've said it. I said it last year. It kind of feels like the teams, kind of everybody for themselves. It feels like they don't really like play as a cohesive unit. Yeah, they're good stars on the team. Um, but I just feel like you need to be a solid unit to beat. I mean, nobody's going to beat the Chiefs unless they are all gelling together. I'm sorry. I mean, even when now with the Eagles pretty much running that division, at least what we can tell, they're going to be running that division for a little bit. Uh, they're really going to have to pull it together in
Yeah,
order.
but like I mean, consecutive 12-5 seasons. I mean,
I'm
12
not. I'm not
wins
saying exactly
in a
like.
row. Like how like they're just not a good playoff team. Like
Uh,
what they do can win regular season games, but whatever they try to do in the playoffs doesn't work. So it's just like I mean, is because this has been, a Cowboy problem. It's just not
Yeah,
Mike McCarthy. It's just not Dak because they had the same issue like with Tony Romo.
yeah, but they've been playing better since McCarthy took
Yeah,
over.
but they can't win a freaking playoff game.
They can't,
Um,
and you know,
so do you think Mike McCarthy will be viewed as somebody on the hot seat going into this year?
I mean,
Or,
you definitely start. If I was him, I would start to feel the pressure. Year
hmm
four. Um, then again, though, man, I guess this would be the year because I don't think they're gonna really sign out. I don't. I don't. Okay, so if they do sign Elliott, he's definitely gonna be the secondary back behind Pollard. I would think. I don't. So my thing is he's progressed this team to what it is now. Because I mean, before McCarthy, what it was, they were getting the playoffs, but it was like 9 games. You know, it was squeaking by just over 500. So I think the team has improved, and that's nothing against Garrett. I just think that
hmm
they were kind of stuck. They were stagnant. And truthfully, I don't think. I know this kind of maybe some of the people don't want to hear, but I don't think Dak is like all. I mean, he's good, but I don't think he's like great like people thought he was going to be.
Well, I don't think Mike McCarthy is going to be looking to replace Dak.
No, because who you're going to replace him with? He's good. He's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's going to win you a Super Bowl. I don't.
Now, I mean, this year we'll find out a little bit more of because I mean he fired Kellen Moore, so he's going to be taking over the play calling duties for the offense. So I think that says two things. Either he thinks the message hasn't been getting through to Dak and he can make Dak better,
hmm
or this is a coach who knows his job on the line. So I might as well be calling the plays.
You know, I'm thinking I was going to lean towards the second. I guess the second one, truthfully, just because I feel like Jerry Jones. He's a diehard. Like if he likes you, he's going to stick with you. I'm good or bad. And I think he likes that.
Which made the Zeke thing so weird.
I think they were pushing for that. I think the reason that he stayed as long as he did, I mean, because he's been declining for years, for the last 3 years or so, you get 3 seasons or so. And I just think they paid him so much, they had to keep him. I mean, because that money was already out the window. So, they cleared $10 million off the cap by not signing him again.
Yeah, and not very many teams out there can uh get that and support that kind of wage.
Yeah. And, I think it was kind of a waste of money, truthfully, because he was really good when he first came into the NFL, and I hate talking bad about a player, but it's just like you fell off. Everybody falls off. I'm sorry. It happens. Different people at different stages. It just seemed like he hit his ceiling pretty early on in his NFL career, and it just after that the antics with him on the beach, it just seemed like that string of off field antics. It really something happened and it just he wasn't clicking the same. And I feel like he's been steadily getting worse. And I mean, you're paying a guy not even close to what you're paying him, and he's doing better as far as Pollard's concerned. You know, so I kind of feel like that was a good move for them. They need. I mean, you get that far 2 years in a row, and you aren't making a playoff run. Something's got to change.
Yeah, do you think Tony
And you want to
Pollard is the guy, or do you think there's something else to figure out at running back, or Tony Pollard good enough to give you time to find the right guy?
I would say Pollard's at least he's a good. I think he's a good starter. Personally, I think that they could see how it goes with him this year, because this will be his year if they decide, he's going to be the workhorse this year for that team, and I do think that he deserves that role. He's shown what he could do last year. Um, I would say stick with him this year, because you got to think CeeDee Lamb's rookie contract's probably it's probably going to be ending this season, right? So you're thinking to the future too, if you're going to like re-sign him, stuff of that nature, because you don't want to get rid of CeeDee Lamb. I mean, he's your best wide receiver. He's one of the better wide receivers in the league.
Got Brandon
I think
Cooks.
he improves that. I like Cooks. It's just he's on his way out. I'm surprised he's still around. Truthfully,
Right.
for real,
So
he's been around in the league for probably almost a decade. So,
how
if
far
not
do
more,
you like? How far would you expect the Cowboys to go? Like, do you think they're
um,
championship game, or
I think
do
they're
you
poised to
think?
hit another. They should hit another. I mean, are they going to beat the Eagles for the division spot? Probably not.
I,
Do they have the potential
I,
to make the wild card spot? Yes. I mean, you made 12-5. You said 2 years in a row. The team isn't that much different. You just got rid of a player that was costing you money. So, in my opinion, I think that kind of relieves some stress. And if McCarthy, is making the play calls now, then I think that they should go just as far, if not maybe win a playoff game.
they should
I think I
eventually
think I
win
think
a
they should.
playoff game, right?
You should win at least your first playoff game if you're 12-5. You should win your first playoff game. But man, you know, this is what the Cowboys fans are going to say, that the refs hate the Cowboys and everybody's always out to get them, so that's why they're not going to win a playoff game. But the truth is like they cannot win a playoff game. Like you said, even before all that with Romo and
Yeah, it's
all
not
that
a
stuff.
new thing. Like, it's
But
not a
Romo
new
didn't make it to the
playoff.
playoffs. I mean, I think Romo made it to the playoffs, what, twice? 3 times? Twice for sure. And
His
he couldn't get
career,
past that first game, you
his
know?
career 8-8 quarterback, essentially.
I mean, he knew the game. He knew the game. Like, even when you listen to him, like, broadcast, he knows what the play is before it happens. Like, he's an experienced player, but he just that time I thought they put a lot of emphasis on Bryant. I never thought that Bryant was like his. I mean, he was good, but I thought he was real cocky, and he kind of thought like he was the Cowboys, and I felt like that was the problem. Was they kind of try to put that team around Bryant, and that's not what they needed to do. I mean, they ran through like a string of running backs. What happened to Marco Murray? You remember that? He was like bad
Marco
A that
Murray,
year on Dallas, and all of a sudden
Marco Murray he was a good running back,
And
man.
then all of a sudden he left, and he was like, he fell pretty much shortly after that. So
Yeah, I mean, I,
I have
I,
I
I,
have
I
faith that they'll make the playoffs again.
yeah, like it's a good
I,
team.
I am mad that they got rid of Schultz. I know they drafted tight ends, but I felt like he was a good pick. I mean, he was a good, solid position player for that. I mean, he makes his blocks, he catches the ball, he's getting you TDs when you give him the chance. I mean,
Hmm.
I think it wasn't last year, but the year before that, I think he scored like 9 touchdowns or something like that. And for a tight end, that's pretty dang good. And I felt like I don't know the reasoning. I know that they drafted tight ends, but I thought that was a mistake, and I think that may hinder them a little bit, but none of the overall. I mean, I think the players they got, and I think if Dak can stay right minded, I know he deals with stuff outside of football, which I can look at. Man, you got to deal with your own stuff. Like I get that comes first, But I think if he can stay on track, they're going to make the playoffs. Now, how far they're going to get in the playoffs, I don't have faith that they're going to get very far.
I don't
Uh,
either. I I don't either because
you're like the
like
best mediocre team, but you're not mediocre. You know what I'm saying? If you're making the playoffs at 12-5, you're not mediocre. But
uh,
like,
this is a good exactly right, but like you so down on this team. They're 12-5, like 2 years in a row. Like
and as far as
and
like somebody who like lives in Texas and deals with Cowboy fans,
we're
like
not inspired.
it feels like they're almost like defeated. Like, because usually, like if we have a bad season as far as like next season, but like you don't. What was there to complain about this year? Last season, coming off of last season, there wasn't a what could we do better. It's the fact that we just didn't. I mean, not we. Like, I'm not a Dallas fan, but like it's not like they really punched in the time clock. They didn't. They got to the base of the mountain and didn't want to climb it, basically. And so it's
Yeah.
just like another year, um, you know. Because who? What happens if they do the same thing? Who are they going to get rid of? I would think Dak. It's
Yeah,
somebody's getting the chopping block if it happens again this year.
because like is this as far or is this can Dak do anything more than this? Or this Dak?
I think he has strings of good game. He just sometimes he stumbles, and sometimes he'll throw 3-4 touchdowns a game, and then you'll get a string of games where he's throwing one, and so it's just like it's hard to say. Um, I think we've seen I think we've seen what we are going to see in Dak. Truthfully, I don't think he's going to get any better. And I'm not saying he's bad. I mean, obviously he's the third. He's one of the 32 best quarterbacks in the world, but I don't think he's going to bring any more to the table than he's already brought.
And then it'd be interesting. Does Mike McCarthy get to pick that quarterback, or is Mike McCarthy's job tied to this?
No, I think if they get rid of Dak, then they'd let him pick. Right? You'd have to.
Unless he got fired too.
I don't think they're going to fire both of them. I think they'd fire one of them. If Dak stays, I'd feel like McCarthy is probably going to get let go, and if McCarthy stays, then he'll be able to pick the next quarterback
Right, yeah. Okay.
but then if it flops, he's gone.
But yeah.
5 year
Very,
plan,
very,
man.
very quick.
You gotta give a head coach 5 years. 5 year plan, man. Because that gives them the opportunity to maybe scramble and fix the bad team that you have, but potentially you're transitioning into a
But
team
it's
that they're
not a
building.
bad team.
It's not. He
It's a
wasn't handed
good
a
team.
horrible team, but that year that he was handed the keys, I think they just finished at 500. They didn't make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a critical year, I think. Uh, hold on. The computer thought I was talking to it and started playing my music app.
So it's like typing everything. Just saying.
Oh man. Um. Okay. So yeah, I don't think. Do you think they can make a run, a decent run at these Eagles for the
I think the
division?
Eagles pretty much division locked in. I mean, they make, as far as I'm concerned, they make some of the best offseason moves the last two. I mean, the team's ready to go. They want revenge for what happened last year, and I think they're gonna pretty much run this division for the next couple of years.
Do because Jalen Do you think Jalen Hurts has the weapons to do it? I mean, AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, these are two really, really good
Um,
wide
and his
receivers.
arm are good. I
Do
mean,
what?
AJ Brown's awesome.
Devonta Smith. I mean, I guess you could
Um,
question, do you think their running back position is good enough?
AJ Brown.
No, their running back, DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny. Do you think
Yeah. I
they?
mean,
I mean,
so like that's what I'm saying. They got probably one of the top three wide receivers out of the 3 years ago, two seasons ago. AJ Brown was like number three. He's I would consider him top five wide receiver right now.
he
And then Swift
good.
is a great running back. But, I mean, you got to think. I mean, I I think it's a major improvement. You know, I love Sanders. I thought he was coming up. I mean, he never really stepped up like everybody said he was, but he got better last year. You could see it, and I don't know if that's because the team was rolling better, but you
Hmm.
could really see his game improve. But Swift is definitely an improvement from Sanders. So you're telling me a team that almost won the Super Bowl, you know, got there, and then now they're improved again. So I mean, I feel like it's gonna if they're definitely making the playoffs, definitely gonna win this division, and it's just hard to say you're gonna beat the Chiefs, man.
Oh,
You know, I mean, and I'm not even a Chiefs fan. I gotta give them a credit. You gotta give credit where credit's due, dude. That's a hard team to beat. That is gonna be a hard team to beat.
I
Really,
mean,
until probably because I feel like Kelsey will retire before Mahomes, obviously. So until Kelsey retires, I think that team is going to be pretty much unstoppable. Because I mean, they got rid of what's it, Hill, and they put in Schuster, and they still won the Super Bowl. You know, so it's like I don't know. I think they're the team to beat. And if there is going to be a team out there that beats them this year, I think it'll be the Eagles. I like the way the Eagles have put this team together, and I think
hmm
that they definitely know what they're doing as far as picking up these guys. I don't even know how they make these trades. Like, why would you like put better weapons on your basically your enemy? I know you do it because you're going to get trades and stuff like that, but you're bolstering a team that's already freaking good. So I don't know, but they managed to do it, and I think that's really going to show this year.
yeah. Do you think either the Washington team or the New York Giants? I'm not. Or could go get a one of the wild card. Do you think
Sorry,
any
break.
one of them can be? Do you think any one of those two remaining teams can make a fight for a wild card?
If I had to pick one, it would be the Giants. I mean, I just man besides McLaurin, who do they really have? You know, I feel like that team in the NFC East is the Washington. Was it Washington State? Washington, whatever it is.
Washington
What's the team
Commanders.
called?
Washington Commanders.
Boom. Sorry, that was my fault. I'm just so just years and years of it being called something else. So, but I get
I
it. I
know,
get it. And the
right?
Commanders, man, I just feel like they're struggling. And unfortunately, I'd like to see for selfishly because I have Saquon Barkley on one of my fantasy leagues, see him go off this year. I did
Hmm.
see a major improvement last year. Yeah, I drafted him. I know. I never thought he was the best running back on the roster when it was my turn to pick, so I had to pick him.
Uh,
But
we've all been there.
I know, but I'm not a big fan of Daniel Jones.
No, you don't think he's
And but
the
if I had to pick one or the other, I would think asked us when we were talking about Dallas. If they don't resign Elliott, which I don't think they will, because they've already given his number away. But what do you think about
yeah,
Hunt?
right. Um, Hunt to go where? To
Hunt
Dallas?
to Dallas is like a because he's a solid number two. He's good pass catcher. I mean, he's a solid pass catcher, and he was him and Nick Chubb were a great tandem. And the Browns let him go, so I feel like he's a free agent and he's trying to land somewhere.
Um, I mean, I don't know, but it'd be interesting. Hunt in Dallas. I don't. It's still Dallas, dude.
Yeah, but
Still not.
I think that would be
Still
a
not
better bet for
inspiring.
him.
It's still not
I think that would be a
inspiring.
better instead of re-signing Elliott, which I don't like. I said, I don't think they'll do. I think that
No.
Hunt will help that team. I don't think he'll hinder the team by any means. It won't be a waste of money.
Yeah, cause Zeke now he's out there. Dalvin Cook is still out there. Fournette, Kareem Hunt.
I just think money. I don't think Dallas is going to be able to pull off a Cook. Uh, I think he's wants too much money, and that's the whole thing with Zeke is they spent way too much money on this running back, and it didn't pan out. I don't think they're going to do that again, especially with Cook being so injury prone.
Yeah, so
You know,
they're still free agents. I mean, it'll be an interesting watch to see who who picks them up and what kind of role they'll be playing. Because I mean,
yeah,
I don't think any of their careers are over. So I would expect
no,
um, somebody to that's Moss from across the pond checking in, saying what's up. I would expect them to um, be signed, all of them be picked up. Maybe not. I mean, Kamara even he still hasn't been picked up.
yeah. I don't think he's going to leave New Orleans, man. I think New Orleans will pick
No.
him back up. You don't think so?
Oh no, I was just repeating you really and agreeing with you. Maybe. I mean, Cook's issue. I mean, he's going to require some money, man.
Yeah, a
Uh,
lot of money, more money than he's probably worth in his eyes.
Injury prone guy, man. You're going to have to give him 10. Can he get 12? I
Whatever he gets, honestly, in my opinion, it's too much because he's too injury prone, man. I'm not going to pay for a guy that's going to play less than, he's going to play, what, 12 games at most? Man,
right.
okay, maybe that's a little low. Maybe 15 games. Yeah, we'll say like 13 to 14. I think I'm comfortable saying that. But he always misses 3 to 4 games, if not more, every year. And that's and unfortunately, I just don't think that. I think that was a good move for the Vikings. I know that the Vikings fans don't feel that way, but you know, sometimes it's time to move on. Just like you got to get rid of Kirk Cousins, but that's a totally different division. We're not even talking about that. If we're going back to the Giants, just like just like the Commanders, uh, they don't have much going on than kind of like one or two guys. I mean, Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones is who you throwing the ball to. You know, there's not you don't really have a big name. You need a name like these guys. Pretty, I wouldn't consider them like a winning team by any means. I think they on the
Hmm.
shoulders of as far as Giants are concerned, and I think that it's really gonna because they re-signed him, right? They re-signed him this year. They
Who?
gave him a deal or something like Barkley,
Right.
but he took lower money because they won because him and Jones both stayed, right? So it's kind of like last year really they waited 4 years and then he finally came on and now what are they doing? You don't have anybody besides him, and so he's gonna have to step it up and show them that they want to build a team around him, or
Hmm.
what's gonna happen. All I know is it's pretty much it's two teams that are pretty good teams and then two mediocre teams. Is what I feel like the NFC East is right now.
Yeah. Do I mean because do you think Delvin Cook has a couple high level years in him left?
I'd say. I mean, I don't think I think he's got at least two.
Hmm.
Barring injuries. I don't. He was running just fine last year. I mean, I think he was the least injury prone last year than he has been his whole career, which was kind of what threw me off about them letting him go. But at the same time, I can understand because you're gonna have to pay Jefferson a lot of money to stay.
Do you
You
think?
know, yeah,
Yeah.
bro. That dude would literally get picked up by any team. Any team would shell out money for that cat.
he walks on any team in the NFL. Like,
And he's going to better your team no matter what team he's on. He's going to better, you know. Now, do I think they should? And the thing is, I understand you don't want to get rid of Cousins because statistically, on paper, he's like one of the best quarterbacks. Even though like the visual test would tell you different, but on paper,
mhm.
yes, and you can't argue with the on paper because that's it. Uh, but they had to get rid of somebody, and you know they gave Cook plenty of years of opportunity, and they could sell him high right now. And I think that's just what happened. Even though they released him, so it's not like they're selling him, but they can get rid of that money instead of try getting further behind on their cap.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, the running back position does not look too tempting this year.
yeah. I mean, but I think if you have a Dalvin Cook, I think you can, you should be able to do something.
I think really a lot of teams are doing that tandem running back thing more and more. There's not really like a workhorse, really. I mean, Derrick Henry's probably the only workhorse. I mean, there are a couple other guys, but like a serious like workhorse, uh, there's probably like three guys maybe in the whole league that are really like their team's every down guy basically.
No, yeah. Uh the running back position is different
So
now.
it's easier to shift these running backs now than it was 10 years ago. I mean, this is a pass heavy NFL right now.
Right. Yeah. So, do you think um anything can be done? Kind of looking at the NFC North, you got Rogers. He's gone now. Cook is gone. I know we've kind of discussed it before.
Yeah.
Um, do you consider that that wide open? Like, does anybody have the edge? I mean, would you give it to
Uh,
Minnesota, right? Because
I would still give it to Minnesota. I mean, over Green Bay, maybe the Lions, but I mean, the Lions just got rid of Swift, right? So it's kind of
but none of them a playoff threat. Nobody.
they're. If anybody has the potential, it'll be the Vikings. But I mean, I don't see those teams. I mean, the Green Bay's got a couple years to rebuild. You know, the Bears, I don't believe in them. The Lions, eh, they're hit and miss. They're good enough to break 500. You know, I mean, they put a string of wins together at the end of last season. And as far as the Vikings are concerned, they're they're just that almost there, man. They're just never quite there though.
Yeah, because I mean, it almost doesn't matter because like any none of those teams are better than Philly. None of those teams are
Oh
better
no, yeah, none of that seems greater than
than
Philly.
Kansas City. I mean, the Cowboys are going to be better than Green Bay,
I was
Minnesota,
yeah, yeah.
Detroit, Chicago.
And Detroit almost had something going there, but you
They
know,
had they had parts in
yeah,
middle times in the season where um
seemed like maybe they were
like,
gonna pull it together.
hey, yeah, like, hey, I like the cut of this team's jib, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's see what they can do. But
but yeah, as far as making a playoff run, I don't think they won't even get a wild card spot. I don't think any of them. I mean, one of them's gonna get the division game, obviously, but none of them are gonna win a wild card spot.
yeah, I would that division has one playoff team. I think the NFC South probably just has the one playoff team.
So, and yeah, I think it will be the Vikings that get it for the North.
Yeah, and going back, I think Cowboys and the Eagles should both be playoff teams. I don't really know if the Giants or Washington are. I think,
I don't want to say dumpster fire for Washington, but pretty much.
yeah, it
And
could
I like
be.
McLaurin. I think he's one of my favorite wide receivers, but I just feel bad for him because he just signed that contract last year to stay for like another 5 years or something like that. Like that's his whole career. His whole career is going to be on the Washington. I mean, they paid him, but like you know,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there could like, I mean, I'm trying to fight for the Giants here and offer a way that I mean this Daniel Jones Saquon Barkley thing, even if it clicks, is that good enough? Is that still going to be good enough? I mean,
not to make it to the playoffs. I mean, he needs a wide receiver, dude. He
yeah,
does.
like he needs a bit more help than
He
just
really does.
him and Saquon. Him and Saquon are not going to like win anything.
I mean, he can run Derrick Henry, dude. You're not gonna. And we've seen it even with Derrick Henry. You can be that good and win your team to the playoffs, but a running back alone is not going to win you a Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah, and then for some reason you get rid of your best wide receiver, who might be one of the best wide receivers in well, who is one of the best wide receivers in the league.
That was so dumb. You talking about Tennessee? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the dumbest. They were just like whatever. Because dude, him and Corey Davis were like killing it when they were. I mean, who was the guy? There was another his number two because Corey Davis isn't that Um, I forgot the dude's name, but they were killing it right there. And even
Mhm.
when Derrick Henry was out there, they were pulled it together. Even Tannehill was throwing a little bit better than I'd seen him, and they just got rid of it. Like you said, just toss that team to the wind. They were like, "We don't want to win," which I don't understand. I still don't understand that move. What did they get out of that?
Hey, I mean,
I mean, the Eagles were like, "Yeah, we'll totally take AJ Brown,
oh
no
yeah,
problem, man."
dude, AJ, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well, we'll definitely do it. Um, but yeah, the Eagles. You think they are? Would you put them odds on favorite NFC, or are you jumping on this San Francisco? Um, because all of a sudden San
I
Francisco's
like
so
San
good.
Francisco, man. I do, but I'm not going to beat the Eagles. I do think they're San Francisco. I'll give San Francisco that. I thought they were going to be a good team last year, and they were. Just don't think they're going to beat the Eagles. Nah, man. The Eagles, man, when they go out there to play, you can see that they're on a different level.
Yeah, no, that
So
team is. I would think they would probably be odds on favorite, but I say we wrap it up there. Um, week by week, we'll tackle, no pun intended, other all the other divisions and talk teams. It's that time where we just get ready for football to come on.
it's right
But
around the corner, man. It's right around
dude,
the corner. It's a month and a half away.
it is. But my friend, thank you for joining me once again, dude. And you know,
Thank you, Brett.
we'll talk next.
Thanks for
We'll
everybody
talk.
out there. Appreciate you.
Heck yeah! Like, subscribe, Full Time Sport Network, all the affiliates. You can find the links, like the Man United agenda to theirs, and give all them a look see too. And until next time, everybody take care and have a great week.